On your nose.
Ooh. No.
They're doing it.
So I'll do this every time then.
Doing it and doing it and doing it well.
And then if you ever want to input, just, input. If you don't want input, that's good too.
If I don't want input, don't input.
Don't input. Input.
Can you be emotionally intelligent and still struggle with communication? It says Josh, 100%.
I know, I tried my best for you. I'm sorry.
EQ isn't perfection, it's pursuit.
You know why I struggle with this? It's because I'm not good at... Man, I need to have grace with other people. I think that's what it is. Because for me, if I have an emotionally intelligent thought, it's not an issue for me to just say it. So
should it be, though?
An issue?
Yeah.
Well, it's saying like it, but still struggle. Like, I know there are people that struggle. I just don't feel like they're emotionally intelligent then. That's mean to say, but...
No.
Are
I
they?
mean, maybe that is it. Maybe you can't communicate because you're not emotionally intelligent.
I feel like
that's huge.
People who are emotionally intelligent, one, we do it in a way that is productive. Mm-hmm. It's not hateful. It's not hurtful.
Sure.
It may be direct, but you're not afraid to just say what needs to be said because you see the bigger picture of if I handle this issue the way it needs to be handled, it's done. Like, you move on.
Yeah.
As if you're dealing with another emotionally intelligent person.
So that's a thing. That's another thing.
So you could struggle to communicate if you know your counterpart is not emotionally intelligent. Then,
yeah.
Yes.
Or vice versa. Because you may think you are and you're not.
You may think you are, or you may be intimidated that your partner probably is a little bit further along, and especially if it's from a male, because I do think this is what typically happens. The men typically are not as emotionally intelligent.
Do you think that's why girls date older men? Is because they think they are a little bit more emotionally intelligent?
Maybe, but I've heard that after the age of 25, your brain in that area is fully developed, so any man who's acting the same way after 25 is never going to...
Well, so I don't know. That's hard. We're going to have to talk about an episode on that because
it's kind of about, like, do people change? Like, we've had that conversation.
I've changed significantly since I was 25.
Do you think you have changed, or do you think you have grown? Because
both.
Yeah?
I've grown into change. I've changed into growth.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
Okay, that's, another episode for that one.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think it just depends on the dynamics of the relationship or friendship that you're dealing with, whether or not communication is a struggle.
Yeah, honestly, I love the idea that it would be, I love that it's so simple to think that communication is now is detrimental. No, I should say this again. I think that it's communication that is now one of those things that could be affected because of your lack of emotional.
I think that's like almost 100% of most issues is people don't have the emotional have the maturity, emotional intelligence to communicate. Like, people don't know how to have a conversation that isn't either like taking stabs at each other.
I've been married for 12 years. Ish.
I had intrusive thoughts. I was going to say, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm not. I wish I had a marriage of 12 years.
No, I've been married
That was the immediate thought that was like,
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is why I'm single.
We're on the third floor. Go ahead and jump head first off this side of that.
There's glass first.
Listen, so I've been married for 12 years, and I'm going to tell you right now, communication is still a struggle. Heavily a struggle. And I think that's an emotional.
Both of you change.
Yeah,
change over time.
Yes, we have
and
been
you're growing
and continuing, and it's gotten better. But it's an emotional challenge. It's emotional, knowledge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so I think that.
I read something that said
emotional immaturity. I think is huge.
I agree.
Yes, it definitely It definitely. That's an easy question. We could have just said yes.
Both of us are like going way off on all these
yes,
things.
I know. Can you can you be emotionally intelligent and struggle with? Yes, that's all it should have been. Yes, you can struggle. Everybody's going to struggle with communication, I think.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah. you agree,
You're in the
right?
Navy, so I can do that.
Yes.
No, I agree. I do.
All right. So moving on. It says, what role does self-awareness play in balancing masculine and feminine energy? Self-awareness play.
Ooh, yeah, this one I like.
Okay.
So it's a balance, right?
Right.
And
masculine, feminine, equilibrium effect. Self-awareness.
Each person has to be self-aware of how they're acting.
That's right.
There are times when I am acting out of masculinity, and I've seen it in relationships. I think because I felt like my counterpart wasn't stepping up to that, and it wasn't even something that I necessarily knew I was doing. It wasn't until being in that for a time that I noticed that, man, I don't feel like a girl. Like I don't know how else to say it, but I just didn't feel like the female in the relationship. I felt like
the dude,
the man,
yeah.
And I don't like that.
Just a dude being a dude.
I'm a dude all day.
This guy being a dude.
And when I get home, so
right.
And that's when how I put here femininity based on survival. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I have been working on for myself over the last few months is I don't want to live out of survival anymore because that does bring out masculine tendencies.
Sure.
I want to live in my softness.
Yeah.
And you can't do that if you're constantly living in survival. You just can't.
You do realize you're literally laying a roadmap
for my future husband?
Yes.
You're welcome. I'm making it easy for you.
To the perfect man for you. Because
maybe
all
on
they got to do is study this podcast.
I'm like, ooh, I know how to get Megan's therapy.
Exactly. Like craziness.
Yeah, but there's got to be chemistry.
Well, of course.
There's way more involved.
But what I'm saying is like, now that, this is only episode 2, EEPEP2, right?
Lord, eat.
And so I'm like, just seeing that alone.
Yeah, but you've seen me off camera, so you let them know how.
Yeah,
how much work I am.
Wait till episode 10, and we really unload. Good luck, dudes. Good luck, guys. That really
are you already saying that to them? They didn't see the laps. They have no clue.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Anyway,
how about
self-awareness?
Anyway, yeah.
I'm gonna change it up.
What about you?
You know, it says the role on self-awareness. So I've always been a firm believer of self-recognition, and that's recently. This is something I've changed to. Before I was like, hey, me. You know what I mean? Like
I'm not the problem.
Yeah, yeah, not even a little bit. Never do I have any problems. You know what I mean? Like, but I was growing up as a kid, like where it was, I was indestructible. You know what I mean? In every aspect, to include emotion. You know what I mean? So now I'm realizing, okay, like I gotta really, like self-reflect, and I've got to look at, what is that word? Knowing the problem or understanding the problem is half the battle. Is that what the word is?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Unsure.
Seeing the issue, understanding the issue, or recognizing the issue.
Recognizing it, I think, is
half the battle.
Is half the battle, and then tackling it from that point is
That's right.
The rest
and
of it.
So seeing the issue, as I recognize the issue, as I get older and I'm self-aware, and I'm becoming more emotionally, knowledgeable within and internally. As a masculine person, I think that it actually helps me produce. It helps me continue. And so if I have that self-awareness, it helps balance myself as masculine.
Yeah.
But then in communication, I can then ask, my significant other to help reciprocate that on that side, on the feminine side.
Right.
And bring that out. So I can self-aware my masculinity, bring out the femininity by basically allowing myself to be vulnerable.
You know what I noticed?
What?
Something about myself, talking about self-awareness and balancing our energy. Mm-hmm. So since I went on this little exploration of myself, which I've been doing for years, but, I feel like we get to a point where we feel like we've grown and then the universe is like, haha, level up.
That's
and that happened to me this year. And when it did, I noticed that when I let go of that survival
I like that.
Megan, and I leveled up, she's fun. Like, this new version of me is very playful, very just fun. Like,
Are you going to want to level up again?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm only 35. Can you imagine? I'm hoping I level up, I think yearly.
Yeah, but you don't want to be fun anymore?
No, like I do, but I think it's just going to go exponentially. Like,
I gotcha.
Continue to expand. And I've just noticed since I let go of this more survivalist.
You've been self-aware.
I've been self-aware, and I am just having the time of my life.
I mean, honestly,
and it's like from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, which obviously in between, I'm not just like, woo, all day. It's this. You've seen some of the videos of what I've done.
No.
I don't know, and that's just recent. So I've just kind of, I mean, my boss is like, what has gotten into her? But also embraced as well. So
this is recent then?
I'd say within the last, so I just had this conversation with somebody about 90 days ago.
Yeah.
Something in me switched, and I'd say it was March. Something, I don't know if it was me leaving task force and then deciding to do my own thing, but see, something triggered before that. I don't know what it was. Oh, is that what it... I did not until April. No, it wasn't until April, bro.
No, it happened in April then.
No, it did not. It happened in March. It happened in late February, March. That's when it happened. Something happened. And I don't know. I just started on this new little, like, trajectory. And then I met you.
Well, what I was going to say is thank you for that happening in March then. If you met me in April.
It's strange. It's so weird, though.
I'm glad it happened, because if I was still trying to hit you up on the DMs just to talk about... At
least you weren't telling me I was hot.
I was talking about work. Everything I ever mentioned to you.
You're harder to meet than a senator.
I was trying to get you to go to the Who's Who meeting.
I know, all these different things.
I was trying to collaborate your nonprofit with mine. I was trying to do so many...
I cannot. I need to go home.
Yes, and it wasn't even a...
I'm sorry.
You're hot, you know?
I'm about to snort.
Do it. All right. If you snort, I'm going to have it on repeat. I'm going to repeat your snort every 10 seconds. Or you know what? If someone cusses, if I cuss, it'll be your snort instead of my cuss word.
Oh my God.
Yes. Instead of a...
You're going to have to make me laugh that hard.
All right. Oh, it's going to happen. All right. So what do you do? How do you build emotional intelligence in yourself?
Oh, did you like the first thing I put on there?
Yes, I do.
Because I do think it's necessary. I think it's necessary for both people. So after my divorce, and actually childhood trauma that I went through, my parents had me go to therapy. And I will say that then I was not in a place to even think about accepting any of it. But as an adult, after my divorce and what I had gone through in that, I fully embraced therapy. I actually really liked it. Really liked it. I found out a lot about myself that I didn't even realize because it was somebody, an outside party that wasn't involved with me in any other aspect of my life. So able to be very unbiased. That, and like conversation you and I had earlier, understanding triggers. Due to trauma I have been through, I have things that I don't even know are triggered. I'm sure I don't even know all of them yet, but now I understand a little bit more as to why I react a certain way instead of respond. But knowing those, now I've learned how to better respond to things instead of react to them. I really enjoy reading and just learning.
That's a big one. Learning.
Not necessarily like learning about myself. No, reading about why I love human behavior. I love why we do what we do. So I read a lot about that to really understand myself better. And then something I know you're a huge fan of is I like to pray and talk to the Lord. I talk to him a lot. A lot. yeah. So a lot of that helps, but I wrote owning my shadows. I feel like as humans, we never want to admit that we have shadows or that we have this darkness in us. But we've all been through things, and it's really hard to come out of the things that we've been through without saying, I don't have any shadows.
Sure.
And so I do own mine. I do my best to not let those dictate my life. Instead, I try to use those in a way that I can either
capitalize on, use, fuel.
But to build relationship, to connect. I use them to help connect with other people. Some people will tell me,
so
God,
cultivation.
you're so nice.
So use it.
You're so nice. You're so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
But there are layers to each and every person, and I've got layers that can see some pretty dark things and still support through that, if that makes sense. What about you, Joshua?
Emotional intelligence. How do I build it?
How do you build it?
So it does say reflection, mentorship, and
You're
repetition.
huge into mentorship.
So, and that's what I was going to say, mentorship. Out of all those three things, I think that showing what I have to offer to my two boys is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
So if I can build that in any way to show to them that that's how I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be for my own personal reasons.
Right.
It's going to be for when I'm 6 feet under and my boys are utilizing that knowledge, that intelligence.
That. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that if I continue to reflect on myself and be self-aware and all these things we've talked about on this episode, if I do that, then I believe that, and I project that, and I show that, then I believe that it could have a positive impact on my little ones, and my two boys can now become the man that they need to be for the future. You know? And so that's honestly, out of all of that, that would be my primary reason, or I should say this again. That would be my primary
motivation. But how do you build it? Like, that's the motivation behind
stepping
it.
block.
Okay.
That would be my primary stepping block on how to get to where I need to get to emotionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your kids are your motivation.
That's right.
That's good.
They definitely have that influential impact to where it's going to make me want to be better, you know?
Yeah.
And rightfully so. And so...
Emotionally mature.
I'm kidding. No, I want you to be happy.
I think that you being all-encompassing all of us can have the end-all be-all. I do believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. The only thing is, the thing about human nature is we are impatient. Have you started that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are impatient.
We are
as
very
humans.
Impatient, yeah.
We want what we want now. And I have dated people. And I have seen what I do not want. And I've also seen, man, some of these relationships, I've seen some things that I'm like, wow. Like the relationship I just told you about. I had so much fun. Like, we had so much fun. But the seriousness of the relationship wasn't there. And I feel like you can have so much fun and you can still be super committed at the same time. I feel like all of that's there. It can all be there.
Yeah,
I have full faith that it can all be there.
To an emotionally mature, charged person.
Yeah.
But not to anything less than that.
I know. But I have faith that that's possible.
Yeah.
And that's
it's
why...
It's called date a 60-year-old that's got a whole bunch of money.
I disagree with you.
I'm just kidding. when I say that, first of all. Totally kidding.
I said it in a very mature way.
You did.
I disagree with you.
Yeah. I totally disagree with you.
I disagree.
No, I disagree with me too. It was a joke. But in the same token, you're talking a potato needs to meet the potato.
I love potatoes.
You know what I mean?
I do. I love steak and potatoes.
Versus the potato meeting the potato. You got to meet your potato.
I'll meet my potato.
I know you will.
I am the Mrs. Potato looking for my Mr. Potato head.
I know.
I would just prefer he has hair.
Why?
I
You don't like
hair.
bald?
No.
You don't like bald people?
I like...
There's some good-looking bald dudes out there.
I like something to hold on to.
Oh, shit. Damn.
I'm going to tone that down whenever we... Nobody will know what I said behind the camera.
Have hair to be able
They
to
need
play.
hair!
Yeah, makes sense.
No, so I can't do bald.
Oh, poor
We're going to have to
people.
cut all that shit out.
Yeah.
After hours.
We'll zoom into we're gonna zoom into the real podcast.
Anyways.
If you're bald,
Whew.
you're out.
Yeah, Megan's not into bald dudes.
Okay, bye, bald people. Oh, man.
I really like hair. I need hair on a man. I don't need a lot, just some. I need some hair on you. Please. Preferably towards the back. Cut out all of that. It's like a chia pet.
Mm.
You hear that?
Yes, I do hear that.
Like that.
Wait, you want the hair to sound like that?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say this is
No,
my
I just-
crusty
I
ass.
just- Oh.
Do it again. She is squeezing
She's
it.
thirsty.
Yeah. She's thirsty,
The
dude.
planter Megan. Anyways.
All right.
Anyways.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Follow my heart into a fire. Got burned, got broken. You messed it up. You messed up.
Did I?
Yes,
I'm
you
off
messed
that
it
one.
up. You did. You messed it up. You did good.
We tried.
Where is that from?
It's from Sing.
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
mom. Of course
it
I
is.
know Sing. It's from Scarlett Johansson's part.
That's right. And she's a hedgehog. She's a hedgehog. Got burned, got broken.
It's so good, right? I like
Yes.
Sing 2 a lot.
We got it.
Anyways.
All right, let's get rid of those.
We don't need notes for this.
We don't need that. We don't need no notes for this one.
We do need our whole thing.
We don't need notes for this one. Oh, wait. I need to bring that over here. You're like Flava Flav, dude.
Flava Flav. What did he used to say?
I need Flava Flav.
Is that all he used to say?
Yeah, that's all he said with the chain. He had the big clock.
Yeah, no, I remember. I remember. I never really understood that whole thing. He is not attractive.
No, of course not. That was the ugliest dude ever, but
I mean,
he
sorry.
made more money.